Yeah, I have 2:30, so let's call the Sawyer County Health and Human Services Board to meeting. Call to order
Dale Schluter,
here.
Marshall Savitsky, Jesse Betcher,
Here.
Michael Maestri. I see him online.
Yeah.
Chris Russ,
Here.
Noreen Goudet,
Here.
John Pettit,
Here.
Carol Pearson,
Here.
Sabrina Dunlap.
Here.
You have the quorum.
Okay, thank you. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance.
To flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, certification of compliance with open meetings law.
This meeting has been noticed in the public and news media as required by section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Okay. Meeting agenda approval,
Motion to approve.
second.
I'll second it.
Okay, everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passed. Let's see. Agenda, public comments. Do we have anybody at this time who wishes to make any comments from the public?
No.
Anybody online?
No hands are raised online.
Okay. Any committee reports?
I'll make a motion
Did I
to
miss
approve the minutes from January.
One of these meetings, I'll remember that. Thank you. Have a
I'll
second.
second.
Thank you. Everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passed. Committee reports. Lorraine?
Yeah, I'm gonna give an update on our Sawyer County update, Nelson Health Center. COVID-19 is still in the area. We are testing 1 to 2 positive cases per day. We are following policy for quarantine, social distancing, hand washing, disinfecting, and masking around positive patients. So they're still following the safety measures. We are testing about 2 positive flu patients each week. Number remain low due in part to the following CDC guidelines for COVID-19 infections at home. So that helps. LCO Health Center is onboarding a new MAT director on March 7th, 2023. This person will be following all of the MAT policies and procedures approved by SAMHSA. We also hired an optometrist 2 months ago. I don't know if I mentioned that last time. This position will be providing eye care, exams, and prescriptions and fitting for glasses. So this was submitted by Gary Gerard, the LCO Health Center director. I also wanted to add that we are still trying to provide care in our shelters and do what we can for the men and the women and families in our domestic shelter and our sober living facility now. Going through some growing pains at this time. We're still trying to get some policy in place and trying to get things in place on how we're going to be running everything, but we are trying to do what we can to help different segments of the population that need that care. So we're still doing what we can. And we're trying to address our homeless population and trying to continue to do what we can and guiding them to the resources they need to address any kind of help.
Hold it on.
Right.
Go
So
ahead, Marie.
we're going to continue to build on what we are doing now for our people. So we're trying to provide that care that they need at this time. So our treatments, our ways of counseling or whatever therapy they need, we're trying to guide them that way. With our elderly center, we're doing a lot of different programming with them. We're trying to, like I said last time, we had that computer class, we had different activities to engage them with, and we're trying to keep bringing them out of the pandemic, where we're trying to get them re-engaged and socializing and trying to do things to interact and be with each other and also trying to make sure their food source is being met, make sure that we distribute what we can, and that's for the whole county. For certain programming, 16 above, whoever needs that help. So open that door up.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you talking about packages of food?
Yeah, like boxes and certain, yeah, packages, how we can put things together for them. And some are more, shelf ready, kind of, and then there's some are more variety. So we're trying, and then they come pick them up, or we still deliver meals, we still do what we can. But, so we're still trying to keep building on what we can for our elderly population also. And, you want anything to add?
No, that sounds good.
I think that pretty much covers, and we still are working on towards what we have for the housing. With our project with the apartment building for the workforce, and then right now we're planning supportive housing. We're trying to move forward with that concept so that we can have supportive housing for those who need that assistance, that disability or recovery or whatever that need is at, to build a complex to help meet more of that population. So we're and we're still pursuing the home ownership project. So we're gonna keep moving forward. Our emergency center is almost done. So that's almost completed now. And we're building up our fire department, so we're doing different things to keep building up.
Yes, go ahead, Dawn.
Okay, I have 4 things slotted for Lorraine and Mr. Schuman. First off, the wellness center. Why is that on the table for the tribal governing board, a meeting to be heard about it possibly closing? Second off, what is the slow up on the expansion of the health clinic at the tribal offices? Third, which would, if you close down the wellness center, we already have an issue that is out at the motel, the AmeriView. What is there, how many overdoses that have taken? What, maybe two last week? If you close the wellness center and you have nothing for tribal members to be able to go and try to stay sober, how do you think those numbers are going to increase, and what it does towards tourism also within Hayward? Fourth thing is housing. When are the housing is the date of beginning of construction or trailers being brought in for tribal members? Because 2 years ago, it was a 2-year wait. Federal funding has been given to the tribal government, and no housing has been put up. No subdivision has started. And I understand that the fire department needed to be brought to date or renewed, and you needed an emergency center, but that's also what one of the buildings that was built on the corner of Trepania and Indian Trail and Frommel was going to be used for. But you have no housing for your tribal members. You have no sober living for them. You have no programs nor does the county for these individuals that are overdosing on fentanyl, are having other addictions and alcohol and mental health issues. That's fourthfold that I'm asking.
First of all, the Viziki Wellness Center is not closing. Second of all, when they're coming together to address concerns, some of the things that the people are concerned with, they're not true to those that they're hearing. So they want to clear that. We have a facility that we're trying to address with addiction, and we have a MAP program that we brought into the Viziki Center, and that was something different than what we had before. So we got to follow policies, we got to follow procedures, we got to do certain things to meet that need. And the clients themselves have plans, individual plans that they have to follow. Now, when you're talking about the hotels, you're right. There are those who have addiction. And we did have a couple overdoses. In fact, we had a funeral today. So those things have hit our community. However, this ain't just Native people we're talking about here. Okay, you got non-Native people also who are affected with these addictions, who are bringing these into the community. So don't just be looking at our people. And we're trying to do what we can to help them. We cannot do that for them. They have to do that themselves and they need help. So we're trying to provide what we can. When it comes to the housing, there's certain things that we are planning that we're trying to do with infrastructure now to meet that need. We're trying to do different things, whatever program we have to address that. Just like the county. You don't think we have a housing problem out here? We sure do. So we're all trying to do this together
Ms.
somehow.
Bouger, I was not discriminating against the Native American people. My efforts here is that there is a lack of things for the Native American people, and the tribal members were on Facebook today posting about the wellness center being to save the wellness center. Yes, there are non-Native American individuals in the hotels in Hayward, but the tribe is placing Native American individuals into those hotels and motels, Northern Pines, Ameriview. There's another one I don't know off the top of my head. It's not only is not only a Native American issue, it is also the rest of Sawyer County also, but prevalent numbers that are in those hotels and the population that is in the need of where the overdoses, this is what we've been talking about for 2 years, plus since COVID started, is how many funerals and how many family members have been affected on the reservation from deaths in the community. We are a whole as a community. I'm trying to understand why there's no housing available for tribal members. There's no housing available within the county. We all understand that, but the need right now is on the reservation. That's what I'm trying to figure out, why that need isn't being met.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pettit. Is there anybody else online who wishes to speak? Or a question of specifically?
I do want to respond to something. Where you going?
Please do. Yes.
I don't go on Facebook. Okay. I don't get into that arena. I don't like the lies out there. I don't like the bash. I don't like any of that. So there's not always truth when you say on Facebook. I know people go to that arena for whatever reason, but I did not go there. So when you go and you think they're speaking the truth, you need to find out what's really happening.
At no point did I think they were
Ms.
speaking the truth.
Pettit, do not interrupt again, or I will have you shut off. Go ahead, Lorraine.
So I want to make that known. We hear things, we know we have to keep working on things. We keep trying to do what we can with what we have. And we're going to keep trying. We see what's happening in the community, we see what's happening to our people, and none of us like to see that. We're talking addiction now. All of us in this room know how powerful that is. You're talking heroin, you're talking fentanyl, you're talking what's harder drugs, you're talking things that we have to try to help those who are addicted now to recover from. So we got to keep moving forward on whatever we do, all the attempts that we have, any program that we have, any resource that we have to try to continue to save lives. Because I have said this before and I'll say it again. We've lost more people to addiction than we did to the pandemic.
Yeah.
And it hit us at the same time.
Yeah.
So I hear your concerns. We hear it too in other ways, but we're going to keep doing what we can with what we have.
As will this entire board. Thank you, Lorraine, for saying
Thank
that.
you, Lorraine.
Okay,
Senior reason.
Senior Resource Center. Joey was not able to be here tonight, but she left me something to read. Not going to make it tonight. We have new staff hired for Excellent, which is great. We've been waiting for that for a long time. Joan, another staff are working on the following ADRC. Developing referral form to be used at ADRC or or NFSP programs along with Sherry. They're working hard over there. Okay. I'm very happy to hear that your food program is available countywide, just as our Sawyer County Senior Center is available nationally. Paul, administration, you wanna,
Just the services list for your referral
any,
every month.
anything you want to highlight in any of the items?
No.
Does anybody have any questions for? any
Yeah, what is the
particular item?
services list?
The services list, we've been doing that for quite some time. It's a list of all the services. and the different-
Did we
And
move
if
on
you don't know what
to,
we're talking
excuse
about,
me,
you can refer to that. Have it on there every month, so you have that as a reference.
I didn't include this, I forgot to attach it, it's been on there for
Oh.
about 6 months.
Yeah, okay.
did we move on from, Senior Resource Center?
Yes, we did.
My hand was raised, Mr. Chairman. This is the issue with sometimes with Zoom, that everybody will banter in the room and us on Zoom are not allowed to speak, or we're cut off when we speak, or we can't get it, we don't get called on. So then when we talk, we get admonished in public. My issue,
I have not-
again, I have the floor.
No, you don't. You spoke up out of turn. and
You
I-
went past, you went into the administration without closing out Senior Center, asking if anybody had any questions.
If you give me a moment to reply to that, I will. Both of our people, staff people here who are watching them, monitoring the online people, neither of them saw your hand go in the air.
It's-
As you say, Zoom is not perfect, but it's the best and only thing we have at this point in time. So having said that, if you have something to add to the senior resources comments, please do so at this point in time.
Yes, I do, but my hand had been up since Lorraine. I still had a comment from that, but we'll
As
skip
I
that.
said, it was not visible to our people on the screen. We were not trying to keep you out or
What is the ad hoc meeting in the basement? See, it's not that I believe what Facebook posts. It's people, concerned citizens, since I sit on as a community member, I get berated with emails and text or Facebook Messenger about things that are posted and what the truth of the matter is to bring before the board. So that's why I question. It's not that I believe no one is doing their jobs, because I've sat as a supervisor and understand the difficulties they are sitting on the boards and the committees. So with that being said, there is an ad hoc, since we do not have a senior center anymore in winter that it was closed, that there is now an ad hoc meeting tomorrow night regarding extending for another facility to better serve Sawyer County. I'm trying to figure out, my constituents down in the southern end are trying to figure out what's going on.
yes, there is an ad hoc committee. It was created after the last senior resource center board. And it is for people who volunteered to investigate options for future enhancement of the ability of the Senior Resource Center and Sawyer County government to provide nutrition sites throughout the county. Just like they do in winter right now, the Sawyer County nutrition site, winter nutrition site is open, just as it has been forever, and is feeding people down in winter. They are doing everything they're required to do. I'm sure that the ad hoc committee will, after this group gets together, will look into ways of inviting more citizens to join it and to reach out to the community. But we have to start somewhere, and that's why we have an ad hoc committee. Thank you. Okay, Does anybody have any questions of Paul about any of the services? Okay. So we go to. Somebody help me, where do we?
Number 10, adult one, long-term care.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you have your monthly report from Sarah Sabecki. I just want to highlight a couple of things. I talked last time about the recruitment for that combined position with Iron County and Sawyer County is kind of got a little bit messy and procedure wasn't just needed a lot of repair. So I met with Callie, the director from Iron County last week, and we decided to hit a reset button. I don't even want to go into all the stuff that happened, but just to say that they use the old, in Iron County, they use the old system before we had our first county administrator and our second county administrator, where the Health and Human Services Board members are the ones that interview. And one of the issues was, if it's going to be a shared position, we should have, Callie agreed with me, we should have representatives from both counties involved in all the interviews, whether they occur here in Sawyer County or Iron County. Callie and I agreed that the people we would like to have on there is the branch managers, which would Sarah be our branch manager. Tasha, who's the ADRC, the North Director. HR from Sawyer County. Now, Iron County does not have HR, so our next step is for Callie to go to their Health and Human Services Board, and because they serve as HR, and their Health and Human Services Board chair and their county chair are one of the same. So we're proposing that they pick one person to counter, Rose as being our HR person, and then move forward. And then in moving forward, everybody decides, everybody at the same time goes over the candidates. They decide who we're going to interview. They all agree what the questions are, but they all do it together. That did not happen, and it turned into a real mess. And I just said, we got a timeout, call timeout and reset it. So that's where that's in. Good news on the personnel is we do have the administrative assistant now over at the adult long-term care unit and veteran services, and she started a couple of weeks ago, and I'm getting great reviews about her. So
Good.
Fitting in really well. Okay, and then the other one on B, the ADRC of the North Governing Board. For I don't know how long it's been, and you've been on some of those meetings, Dale, trying to get travel representation on the governing board. So we don't have anybody from LCL, anybody from Bad River, and anybody from Red Cliff. So I just said I'll just bring it to our board, and now we have some tribal members here that maybe can see if there's any interest in trying. It's been sporadic since my 10 years here. It's been sporadic about representation from the different tribes being on that board. But
Is it one tribal representative or one from each tribe?
one from each tribe.
Oh, okay. And you haven't had any attend your meetings?
It's been sporadic,
Oh,
but
I
for the
see.
most part, it hasn't been consistent at all. So I just said,
Was there ever representative from LCO?
yes, well, like I said, in my 10 years here, it hasn't been consistent. There have been representation from each of the three tribes, but more times than not, there's nobody there.
Hmm.
So I'm just throwing it out there for your consideration. Okay, that completes the adult long-term care unit report. Behavioral health, you have Alicia Carlson's report, which is pretty much the same as last month and the month before. We do not have a placement report because Cindy needs some more data in order to close out 2022, and we'll have that for next month.
Good.
Child Protective Services, you have Carla McKay's usual case report. And also we have the substitute care report. And that, I believe, is it also closes out 2022. And then Youth Justice. Sarah Inchauskis, who is our lead youth justice social worker, is now putting the reports together. And here's a report. One thing that's interesting, and I talked to her about this last week, is our case doubles. I mean, our cases have doubled from what they were in almost my whole time here. I mean, the average cases were 12 to 15 for a whole unit. And it's doubled now. So I asked her, you know, how do you account for that? And there's various reasons, but one that she said, she's from Pierce County and has some different eyes on it, and it's a accountability. So if somebody in an informal agreement does not follow through with getting something done, then they'll up the ante more external controls. I guess that didn't used to happen. So that's one of the explanations. Okay, that's the youth justice report, economic support. You have Shauna White's report, and I just want to highlight what she has in yellow highlight down here is that that public health emergency ends at the end of February, and I may have even mentioned this last month, that they're gearing up because they're going to get all the complaints when they don't have the same amount of benefits they become conditioned to. So, and I should go back to, if I could quickly, the adult long-term care unit, they're going to be dealing with that stuff too.
Yeah.
So. And then as usual, you have Julia Lyons' colorful report. You here to comment on any of that?
No, things are only getting a little bit better. COVID cases continue to be low, and over 90% of the states are now below baseline in influenza-like illness. So that's the only change on the report. Unless there's any questions.
Thank you. Patty is online. She doesn't have her usual reports because she's closing out the year too, but she'll have those next month. But she does have the requested year-end 2022 card report. We do.
Chairman, I got a question for
Yeah,
Paul.
please.
Paul, so did we hit pretty close to the budget then, as she's getting close to closing out? Like our out of county placements and some of those.
I don't believe we're not over by very much. Patty?
We are in the midst of that right now. So by the end of the week, we'll know where we're at, but we're still getting bills in to evaluate where we're at for the rest of 2022, and they are coming in daily. So I can't. My best guess is that we are within budget.
Okay.
How much under budget we will be, I don't project that we are going to be over budget, but how much we will have left over is still a morphing daily.
Okay, thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Paul? Future agenda items? Please.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'll be moving out of the county in June, so my last meeting here is going to be in May. So I don't know if anything needs to be put on the agenda for April or May, or how the elections, since I am a vice chair, I don't know if that's done at my last meeting or meeting after I'm gone. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention that May will be my last meeting here.
Okay. I believe you'll still be vice chair at your last meeting, and then the agenda for the next following meeting would be to elect a new vice
Okay.
chair. I believe that is the policy. All right then, folks, I to apologize for stopping the Senior Resource Center report. We'll let Joy explain all of those acronyms at the next meeting. Okay, so with that, any correspondence, conferences, meetings? Okay, we're done. Thank you.
Hi, Mike wasn't working for the roll call. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mike.
Okay.
Meeting's over.
Yeah, have a nice evening.
You too.